everybody, this is Tina with Two Chicks and a Cricket, and we're here doing another Christmas card. This is a really fun one. It is a different size. It is a 4x4, 5x5. It's a 5x5 card. It's just in black. I just took a piece of black cardstock and cut it down 10 by 5, and then you'd score it at 5. And then I took this piece of red cardstock that has snowflakes on it. It was a double-sided piece that I had. And I'm not going to attach that yet. And then this is just a piece of white cardstock. I trimmed it down a little bit to fit over the red, but leave a little bit on the edges. I inked black all around the edges, and then I stamped Happy Holidays. And we can attach this one. So let's move our card. And I'm doing it at the very top, leaving a little bit of a border. And then I have a piece of black 5/8 inch, 5 by 8 inch, or yeah, I think, piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to, you know, wrap it around and tape it. I'm actually going to use just my adhesive, just so it's on there really well. That's a little bit easier. It works well. So you guys can still see. Yeah. So I'm putting that right on the bottom. And then I'm going to take and trim this. And if you have a pair of really sharp scissors, it won't fray. But I'm going to show you a little trick in case it does that you can do. So now I can attach this to my card. Those scissors happen to be really sharp, so I'm not going to have to worry about it. But I have another element that I will do on my with ribbon, and I'll show you guys the technique in case you were having problems with your ribbon fraying. So this is just going on here with a little bit of black around the edges. And then what I've done is I've tied this bow. The first thing I did is I just took the ribbon and I tied the bow. Now you can see, hopefully, on here that my ribbon is a little bit frayed. When I cut it, I didn't have very sharp scissors. So what you can do, and you have to be very careful. Wendy actually showed this technique recently. And she showed it to me. But you take a lighter and you just let it melt the edges of your ribbon. And that will keep it from getting frayed. And actually the really cool thing is when I did this, my cuts weren't very angled. They weren't angled exactly how I wanted them. And if you're careful enough, as you're melting the end of the ribbon, you can manipulate it to, like I made my angles a little bit more sharp. So then what I did after I tied the bow is I took some of this floss type ribbon stuff that you can get, and I tied it around the top of the bow, and then I attached these jingle bells to it. Now I'm gonna attach it right on the edge here. And how I'm gonna do that, you could do one of two things. You could use hot glue, or I'm going to use this zip dry glue. And I am not a huge fan of the zip dry glue, because I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but my tip never has, it always gets clogged up and it dries and I can never get it out and it's all stringy. So I'm not a huge fan of the zip dry glue. Maybe I'm the only one that that's happened to. So what I do is I make sure I have a piece of scrap paper, and then I just use a Q-tip. And when I use zip dry glue, I usually don't do it on camera. You guys usually don't see this mess because it's a mess. The other element I'm going to add is I'm going to add this button to the ribbon. So I'm going to do that first, and I'm just putting the zip dry glue right on the back of the button. And then that's going to go right on the ribbon, and it's going to make a gooey mess, but it'll come off later. The strings, you can get the strings off at a later time. And you just have to kind of hold it for a few minutes, make sure it dries. Dries quick. It will adhere quick to it. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the back of the ribbon. And you're going to want to hold that for just a few seconds to make sure it really gets, and then you could use hot glue if you had a hot glue gun, which might work a little bit better. And then once this really dries, I'll go back and I'll peel off this. You can see it already kind of starting to peel off, but I'll just take and peel off that extra excess that from the zip dry. So that is how it turned out. I don't know if you want to send this in the mail with the Jingle Bells. You probably have to pay extra to do that. But anyways, that's our next card. So thanks guys for tuning into the blog. I hope you're enjoying these quick Christmas cards that we're making. And tomorrow will be our last card. So thanks for stopping by.